the one and only Big Sills. Yeah, that's the new open. How you doing? What do I see by Big Hater? No. The big truth teller. Happy Holy Week to all. This is the week of our Lord. And by the way, I'm like the guy in Full Metal Jacket. Are you trying to tell me you don't believe in the good Mother Mary? Are you telling me that? I'm going to smack the... Hey, are you trying to insult me? Happy Holy Week, man, to all. Man, there's just absolutely so much going on. I can't tell you enough. By the way, we are doing, instead of Wednesday, today, Big Sills mock draft number 2. Then we do the last 1 week of the draft. So we will have that a little bit later on in the program. Also today, the resident Philadelphia legend, the legendary Angelo Cataldi will join us at 4:30 Eastern. And then our NFL insider, yes, indeed, Jason Cole will join us at 5:30. Gotta say this to you, man. I was just telling Xander, there's certain guys in the world. Donald Trump made $6 billion today. I mean, he made $6 billion today on that True Social thing that I've never been on. Some guys have it. They touch something and it just turns to gold. It's incredible. He gets his fine reduced and now he's made $6 billion today with his stock that went public. And as you know, some of you do know, I used to be a stockbroker, and his IPO came out today, and it was supposed to be trading at 51, and now it's at $75. Okay? Absolutely incredible. Anyway, can I ask a question right out of the gate here? Why is Nick Sirianni at the NFL owner meetings representing the Eagles? Why? Stop talking. Why are the Eagles parading him out in public like that? Why are they doing that? He should not be the face of your franchise. I would much rather have Howie Roseman do that. At least there's a chance that guy's going to be around. So there's Nick's job. Resident mouthpiece. He doesn't really have a gig. So, this is where he's going to do all of his job description in the offseason, parading around as a guy pretending to be the head coach of the Eagles. Hey, you know what? If some of you have a problem with the 2020 election or the 2016 election, okay? The Eagles have a coach that, hey, that's not the coach. That's not the coach. He's a fraudulent coach. I dispute the election of Nick Sirianni being the head football coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. Good grief. I watched that guy answering questions. It was absolutely pathetic. Oh, hey, and then you got to love, what was some of the comments? We're going to be blending our ideas. I'm paraphrasing. Trump learned from on his USFL failure. He did put that team in the ground. He did. What is up, Mac? So wait a minute. Let me get this right. So Sirianni says that the blending of ideas. I heard our resident cheerleader on today, Bill Colarulo, talking about why he should have some say in the play calling. How many people believe he should have some say in the play calling? He should have some say. How many people believe that Nick Sirianni should have some say in the play calling? How many people want him part of it? How many people believe that? And you can hear people say, well, he's had success. No, he hasn't. Anytime that he has had control of the offense, when he was the play caller, when he first got the job, Xander, correct me if I'm wrong. Xander and I, when we first opened the show and Sirianni went 2-5, do you know what Xander said to me? Sills, you think this guy gets fired midway through the season? So as the play caller for the team, he was 2-5. And I've pointed this out to you before. He was 2-5. This last year, he kept going around touting that this was his offense. So he went, 11-6. So Nick Sirianni, with influence on the offense as a play caller designer, is 13-11 when the offensive playbook has been in his hand. And when people like Bill or anyone else say he should have a say, what success has he had when he has had direct overseeing of the offense? Steichen put that team in the Super Bowl. And you know what his reward was? Being named the head football coach of the Colts. When he left, Nick Sirianni was fighting for his job. Why would you want a guy who was on the hook for potentially being fired 2 months ago to have say in the offense? Why would you want that? He doesn't have one redeeming quality. As an offensive play caller, Nick Sirianni is a position coach parading as an NFL head coach. Okay? Mitchell, Sills, do you think them guys got to re-up on new Howie knee pads every year for their key fobs to work for the NovaCare Center? Mitchell, thank you. And he also reminds me here, Mitchell, that all of our great folks who have super chats all go to the front of the line. We thank you so much. Kyle just said it. It's a great take, Kyle. Shane Steichen was the biggest loss in 2023. He totally was, because Shane Steichen took the Eagle offense with him. He took the Eagle offense. Same players. What happened? He took the identity of the offense with him. Nick Sirianni he's not qualified. One, he's not qualified to be a head football coach. And secondly, he's not qualified to call plays. If Nick Sirianni was based on play calling, he's 13-11 in Philly. He's 13-11, and he's going around going, we're going to have, what is it? Blending of ideas. Dude, please don't bring any ideas to my table. I have no interest in your ideas. I have no interest. Sills, did Frank recommend Nick to get even for what they treated his friend Doug? Brian, look, Frank loves Nick Sirianni. And Sirianni loves Frank Reich. Okay? It's starting to look, now Frank went to work for David Tepper. Look who, I heard people saying, what has Frank Reich done? Frank Reich has worked with Jim Irsay and David Tepper. I'm sorry, bud, not really quality organizations. You think? You think? Remember when all you guys were fighting me, telling me back in the day that Nick Sirianni had say over the team? I know you guys are looking back on that one now going, damn, Sills, you were right. I mean, why in the world would you want him part of the offense? Blend of ideas. Guy, shut the you-know-what up. I don't want to hear any of your ideas. You have no ideas. Then he's talking about culture building. There's nothing he says that is truthful. He's not a culture builder. The culture was in the building. You don't really think Nick Sirianni added anything to the table I mean, why is he at the owners' meetings in Orlando talking? It's the same shit. Different city, different day. I feel like I'm repeating myself. Hey, some of you who say, Sills, new content. I'm trying. But they give you the same shit every day. It's the same. Wait, I'll take that back. It's the same shit, but it's a new day. This guy, I mean, I don't get it. That guy is going to be the reason. And I get this. So I don't know what to take of the Vegas stuff. Xander said this also a couple months, or was a couple weeks ago, maybe a couple days ago, he said this. Hey, Sills, maybe the Eagles do win 10 games. It's the NFC. Vegas has the Atlanta Falcons winning almost 11 games. Jesus, criminy. Kirk Cousins makes that much difference in the NFC South where they're going to look at Atlanta making a number at 10.5 wins? Really? Wow. Wow, does the NFC suck. Man, Atlanta? They got the Bears at 8.5. So maybe the Eagles, I still think they're a 7-win team because, and I hear people going over the schedule. I'm like, you have not upgraded your defense. You're only looking at half the side of the ball. Your defense is a little bit better because of Gardner Johnson. That's it. That's it. Blending of ideas for a coach who, when the offense is in his hands, is 13-11. Big Chris says the Eagles are a playoff team now when they were destroyed in the playoffs and did not upgrade their defense. Incredible. You know what else I heard? Where's that line? So, remember when I brought up Levante David and Jason Light, the general manager of the Eagles, of the Buccaneers, saying you can always count on Levante David, 13 years going strong. What a tremendous player. Here's why he gets a contract extension. He's such a staple on our team. Chris, where do you believe you upgraded the defense? You're getting rid of Reddick. Where's the upgrade? Here's James. James, by the way, you keep sending me this kind of money, James. You and me I already told Xander I'm going to ask you out on a date here. I think Nick should be given Sap's favorite nickname, Nostradamus, permanently and mute his kids. Ask Madden ideas. Just give him Sills branded pom-poms. Thank you, James. James, you keep this up. We're going to be dating. Okay? Levante David gets all the love. Here's what Todd Bowles said at the owners' meetings yesterday. CJ and Huff. Huff's not an upgrade. Not when you lose Reddick. It's a lateral move. That's not an upgrade. How do you know he's better than Reddick when he's only done it 1 year, Chris? And guess what? Howie admitted it yesterday when he was doing interviews that it's projection on Huff. That was his exact word. It's a projection on Bryce Huff. So he has no idea if it's an upgrade or not. And remember something. You gave a guy $17.8 million. Okay? $17.8 million to a guy who couldn't start in New York. Okay? He does not upgrade the defense when you lose Reddick. It's a lateral move with a guy you're not sure of. How is that an upgrade? Dude, he wasn't a starter in New York. How is that an upgrade when you're losing a starter? Tell me. Huff is an upgrade from Reddick. Huff didn't start in New York. Go watch his. He's not a starter. A guy who had 27 sacks in the last 2 years, 4 years in a row of double-digit sacks. And you're telling me you upgraded with Bryce Huff off of one season of a guy who played half the plays. My God almighty, have to be the dumbest people on the planet. Have to be the dumbest people on the planet. Anyone who thinks that. Anyone who thinks that. And here, watch this. Prince says White's an upgrade. No. Morrow and Zach Cunningham had higher ratings and grades than Devin White did a year ago. How's that an upgrade? How's that an upgrade? Let's look at what Chris just said. He brings 10 sacks. You lose 11 for a guy who doesn't start. Oh, you're going to find a way now to keep Reddick after you have abused him. Oh, my God. Well, let me get to what Todd Bowles said. Speaking of White, Prince, Todd Bowles was asked about Shaq Barrett going to the Dolphins. You know what he said? What a steal Miami's getting. Shaq Barrett is such a great person, such a great player, has a massive motor. Man, I wish him nothing but the best. And the Dolphins got a steal. So Jason Light is talking about Levante David with high regard. Todd Bowles doesn't even have Shaq Barrett. And they're giving him what a steal for the Dolphins. And you know what the Bucs say about Devin White? Good riddance. But there's your upgrade. The Bucs couldn't wait to get him out. The Bucs have not said one positive thing about Devin White. Nothing. Except he's lazy and he pouts. Funny. Todd Bowles was asked the question about Devin White, and he's like, well, good luck to the player. Asked about Shaq Barrett at the owner meetings. Man, the Dolphins got a steal. What a great football player. What a great person. The Bucs hated him. Hated his ways. Hated his attitude. And all he gives Eagle fans is a great press conference. And that's the only thing you're hanging on. Oh, and just like a lot of folks, even at my network, they like to give you revised history. Well, he was good 5 years ago. Whatever. They don't need a guy who was good 5 years ago. They need a guy who's going to be good now. Crazy. Todd Bowles talking about a guy who's no longer on his team with high regard. And Shaq Barrett. Actually, it's not a bunch of words. Oh, bunch of words, yes. Okay. Dennis goes like this. Can't believe we're still talking Devin White. That's because the Buccaneers are talking about other players that played the linebacker position that just got contract extensions, and one guy's now a Dolphin, and the Bucs hate Devin White. It's very evident. They thought he was a whiner and a bitch, and they wanted him gone. That's why they let him walk out the door. Congratulations. That's your linebacker. Todd Bowles is not a shit talker. Well, good luck to the player. Didn't even say his name. And good luck to the player. Then he was asked about Barrett. He goes, Shaq Barrett is unbelievable. What a great human. Absolutely. Okay? Unbelievable. 26 years old, 1-year deal could turn it around on a shitty defense that can't play the run. Okay. Man, you tell half the story. I love people who go like this. Well, Jalen Hurts was an MVP through week 11. Well, the last I looked, NFL plays 17 ball games, not half a season. Okay? I mean, honestly, that's trying to fit a narrative that fits your take. It's so easy to land on 22 for Eagle fans and even Eagle broadcasters. Instead of sitting there saying who you are today on March 26th. I can't believe you can't come to the realization of what you are and who you are. And again, this is not criticism. This is just, if criticism is telling you what you are and who you are, that's a you thing. My take on the offense, a lot of talent. Underperforming talent last year. You didn't play championship football, and everyone got their numbers. Do you want to know what even makes that even more absurd on how pathetic you were last year offensively? A.J. Brown, career year. Devontae, another 1,000-yard season. Career numbers in many places. DeAndre Swift had a Pro Bowl season, career year. Hurts threw for more touchdowns and more yards than he did the previous year and had more completions, career year. And you were 1-7. How'd that work? Well, all your talent. Oh, the play calling. Okay. All Brian Johnson's fault. We'll find out. I don't believe that. I think Hurts is not good enough. I think the league's caught up with him. And when you took the RPO out, he'll never win a game that matters without running. If he doesn't run, you're not winning. He's not good enough in the pocket. What made him good in the pocket in 22 was his diversity in being able to run. Since you took that element away, he's not going to be better in the pocket. That's why Alabama benched him. Tua was better in the pocket. That hasn't changed. He wasn't developed last year, according to you, because the coordinator sucked. 2023 was a waste of a developmental year for Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is more between 2023 and 2021 quarterback. He's in there without the RPOs. Okay? Without the RPOs. And then you got a coach who's in Orlando. Okay? Then you got a coach in Orlando saying we're going to mesh our ideas. As bad as, here's James Carr. James, telling you one more, man. I'm going to text you my phone number. Not saying it for sure, but Burks is probably best upgrade for defense outside GJ, given his 49er play in the Super Bowl after Greenlaw. And yes, his historical play. The Burks kid did play well in the Super Bowl. At Vandy pushed my Auburn Tigers almost out of the Natty chase. Let's see. Burks didn't play that poorly when he did come in, James. Big Marshall, how you doing? Okay, appreciate it. Thank you very much. You got, hey, all super chats, you guys are fantastic. Thank you. Steve goes, more will fix Hurts. Okay, hey. Talking about a guy who's been fired 2 years in a row. Okay. Steve, you got a lot of faith in a guy who's been canned 2 years in a row. Okay. Sure. You're being positive. There's no reason not to be. There's no reason not to be that Kellen Moore is going to be an upgrade. I give that to you. Okay? I do. I give that to you. Okay? I do. Sill's the new GM of the Eagles. First order, Howie to the broom closet and keep his beak out of football business and more into the books. Mitchell, that's right. He's a bookworm. Okay? He's a bookworm. I mean, he's a glorified GM librarian. There's Xander. So you don't get calls. Yo, what do you need to see from Jalen Carter and Davis to solidify them as extension worthy? Great question. I'm going to get to my mock draft here in a minute. You want me to help? Hey, do you want me to tell you what I told Clint Hurt about Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter? I played next to Jerome Brown, and we had the best defensive tackle tandem in college football for 2 years. Do you want me to tell you how you fix this and how you fix Jordan Davis? Okay? Okay, flexing. Don't play him on third down. Play him like Vince Wilfork. Play him for who he is. Play him on first and second down. Put him in a position of success. Bring Milton in on third down. It'll improve your run game, in my opinion. Won't be as many reps. Okay? He may play half the plays, a little over half the plays, but when he's in there, he'll be healthy, he'll be rested, and he'll be formidable. What happened with the Eagles was they got blown away by the fact that he was showing signs of being a pass rusher early in the season, and it wore him out. He's also got – I wouldn't want him to lose weight. I don't want you to lose weight. You got to define his role. The Eagles haven't defined his role. Put him in there on first and second down. Dude, first and second down early in the season, he'll be a force. And what I would do with Jalen Carter, play him in that 3 technique. Do not have him do anything with 2-gapping. And I don't care if my linebackers get killed in the run because he's going to make the difference up. Do you know what Jerome used to do? He used to run around blocks and make plays in the backfield. The success of the Eagles this coming season will be in the front 4, not the linebacking core. But see, this is where Vic is going to have to be better, and he's going to have to be better than he was a year ago in Miami. That linebacking core is not – you see, Patricia started having those 2 tackles 2-gap. They're not 2-gappers. They weren't 2-gappers at Georgia. They were 31 tackles. One played a 3, one played a 1, one played a shade 1, one played a tilt 2. Go back and watch him at Georgia. They've completely played Jordan Davis out of position the 2 years he's been in Philly. They're asking him to do shit he's not capable of doing for a long stretch of games. He never did that at Georgia. Never did that at Georgia. Okay? James says, makes sense. I thought you wanted him to be a nose, which is why I asked about the 2-gap. He doesn't want a 2-gap. He doesn't want a 2-gap. He's not Vita Vea. And one thing we've learned about Jordan Davis, he gets worn out by the end of the year. Well, why would you play him all those reps early in the season then? I need Jordan Davis at the beginning of the season in 23, at the end of the year. I'd rather have him suck in the beginning of the season and play like he did at the front end of the year, at the back end when I need him the most, when I'm chasing down home field advantage. Why do the Eagle fans ignore that Dallas offense and Dak were better without more? They're ignoring facts. You rock, Seals. Thank you, 304. Because they don't want to. And I get it too, 304. It's because Eagle fans can't stand anything positive that the Cowboys have done. Dak was better without Kellen Moore last year by far. That's why he's in line for a $60 million raise. He wasn't in line for a $60 million raise when Kellen Moore was there. he is now. Okay? Last year, did not know how to utilize Davis, but Fangio would be able to utilize Davis this year. Possibly. Okay? Possibly. Sills, if Howie would embrace his ability to scout other teams for available talent and use that skill to scout for younger coaching talent, this team would thrive. Eagle keeps him working the draft. Yes. Everything you said there, Bob. Yes. Bob, that's a great take. And it's a fair take. What, Bob, you want to hear this? Watch this. If Howie would embrace his ability to scout other teams, A+. A+. And use that skill to scout for young coaching talent. Correct. By the way, Howie Roseman didn't find Shane Steichen. Frank Reich recommended him. Shane Steichen was Frank's offensive coordinator in Indianapolis. Howie is taking bows for thinking he found Shane. It's not true. Shane Steichen was the receiver coach in San Diego when I was there. He's been with Frank almost everywhere. It's a bull-faced lie. That guy takes more bows for shit he hasn't done than anyone I've ever seen. That wasn't a recommendation. Let me go find shit. Where the hell did he get him from? Frank. Frank recommended Sirianni. Absolutely, he did. Yes. Twiz, he did. Hey, Twiz, not everybody has the belief I have. Some of you think he's a great coach. Cosmo says, Sills, remember Davis chasing down Allen? You bet. One of the greatest big man plays I've ever seen. But I don't need those kind of plays out of him. I need him to play 50 plays a game, balls to the wall on first and second down, stop that run, don't let the guys get up on the backers, and be a force in the middle against the run. That's what I need him to be. Chasing Allen down, great, but he's not playing on third down. I'm not playing him on third down. You know why? He hurts the team. His role, in my eyes, his role has been defined. Like I've been saying, I'm not judging any players right now. Look, they said Morrow and Zach were good because they were ranked high. I want to see it first. It's hard to judge in March. Prince goes like, well, Prince, you want to wait and see if a guy changes his resume. You're giving him the benefit of the doubt when he doesn't deserve the benefit of the doubt. We're not talking about 1 year, Prince. We're talking about 5 years of football, 6 years of football. You're throwing all of that away on a hunch he might be good. Okay? Seals, you were fired and doing great. I wasn't fired because I sucked. I was fired because I said something. There's a difference. Hey, senor, I wasn't fired ever in my life because I sucked. In sports radio, in sports broadcasting, I've never been fired because I sucked. So Moore got fired because he sucked. Dak led the NFL in turnovers. They fired him. And in Los Angeles, Harbaugh didn't want to keep him. They hired another coordinator, and they fired him. I don't know. You tell me. I have never been fired in broadcasting because I sucked. That's never been the case in my entire 34-year career. Ever. He's been fired because he sucked. So let's get that right. Maybe Moore and MM did not get along. No, I thought McCarthy and him got along well. He didn't do that poorly, Moore with Dak. I hate defending Moore since he was calling plays for Dallas. But let us wait and see on Moore. Senor. Yeah. Okay. Nolan Smith can stop the run. Kid has outstanding speed to get around the tackle. Martin, he sucked last year. And no, he can't play the run. He couldn't get on the football field when they needed players to get on the field. Stop making something up that's not true. Seals, you played at scheme, bro. Certain schemes fit certain players. Correct. 100%. 100%. 100% true. Jalen Hurts had record stats this year with Brian Johnson, and they went 1-7. Sills, what would you do with Davis? I wouldn't play him on third down. We kind of just broached that a bit. I told Clint Hurt this. He's not a third down guy. You may get caught out there with him, in certain situations, but he's not a nickel tackle. He doesn't have the stamina. He's a big kid. He's a very athletic kid. He's one of the most athletic guys I've ever seen for that size. But that's not translating into him being an every down player for 17 weeks. It was a Herculean effort what Josh Sweat did last year, the amount of plays he played. My God almighty, Jordan Davis, by the end of the year, he hit a rookie wall. You even heard Brian Baldinger going, why are the Eagles even dressing him? It was embarrassing. That's right, Chris. And you know what? I think they would benefit from it. By the way, I think it would improve his game. Hey, look, if you could take Vita Vea off the field like the Bucs do, you could take Jordan Davis off the field. Vita Vea is 10 times the player he is. And Todd Bowles knows he needs him to be a run gap stopper. And when he's in the game, the Bucs defense is different. Davis, my only thing with him is, can he be that kind of player still? Because the Eagles haven't defined him yet. See, the Eagles thought that they got Fletcher Cox because they saw his work at the combines. I love that Marvin Harrison's not working out for anybody. He said, no, my tape's good enough. You know how much that's aggravating NFL teams? He's like, I'm not running for anybody. I'm not working out for anybody. I'm not going to any pro day. My tape ain't good enough. Then guess what? I'm not going to a gymnasium so you can tell me if I'm good or bad and judge me. You're going to draft me on what I did in college as a ball player, not as a weightlifter at Gold's Gym. He's so right. Marvin Harrison hasn't worked out for anybody. Didn't work out at the combines. Didn't work out at pro day. Didn't have an individual workout. He said, screw that. The father said, you're a ball player. You're not a gym rat with that kind of stuff. Don't let them gauge you or downgrade you because you don't have a great vertical. Who cares? Jerry Rice ran a 4.8. He ran a 4.8 on his pro day. I think we're at the combines. You know what Bill Walsh said? Watch his film. This guy's got hands like I've never seen. They were down for the combines, and Jerry Rice out of Mississippi Valley State ran a 4.8. They were recruiting a guy named Rooster Jones from Pitt. And Bill Walsh goes like this. I don't know. He saw Rice and went, damn. You know what the scouts with the 49ers said, all the analytic guys? Hey, Billy runs a 4.8. He goes, I don't care. And they drafted him. Does anybody ever remember Jerry Rice getting caught from behind when he caught a pass breaking into the end zone for the most touchdowns in NFL history? Or having the most receiving yards in the history of the league? Or being the greatest offensive weapon the National Football League has ever seen? Rice is the greatest offensive weapon in pro football history, not in quarterback. No one's close. The touchdowns, the yards. And you have to put this all in perspective. He touched the ball 4 times a game. Think about that. As an average over his 20-plus year career, he averaged 4 touches a game. And he did all that damage in the league with 4 touches a game. All-time receiving, all-time touchdowns. No one's close. Insane. Chris, 4.8 when Rice was on the field? Dude, I ran a 4.8, Chris. I never saw Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice looked like he ran 4.4s to me. There's football speed, and then there's track speed. And that's what Marvin Harrison Sr. told his kid. Don't run. But see, the Eagles fall in love with that shit like they did with Nolan's. The Eagles have a problem in their analytics department in college scouting. And you know what the examples are? Jordan Davis and Nolan Smith. They saw those guys at the combines, and they fell in love with their workout instead of falling in love with their production. It's a fact. Remember what I told you with Jordan Davis? He had 9 sacks in 4 years at Georgia. I had 9 sacks in 1 year. He had like 60 or like 50 some odd. I had 100 tackles in 1 year. And this guy had like 50 or 40 something for a career. That's not production. That's not being productive. I mean, your game film matters more than the combines. I think the combines are a joke. I really do. You know what the combines are set up for? Kids who you don't watch in bigger programs. Guys you don't really keep a focus on because most of the TV networks are watching Colorado or Michigan or Alabama and Georgia or LSU. And you're not really watching Iowa, or you're not watching Nebraska or Washington State, or you're not watching Oregon State. And there's a kid there that it helps because it opens people's eyes. But the big programs like Ohio State, Clemson, LSU, those combines don't help you. They hurt you because the organizations in the league use those against you when it comes to your draft status. And there's guys like Howie, who's not a football guy. You don't draft Jordan Davis at 13. Like I said to you before, and I said this to you before, I still think he's a first rounder. I don't have a problem with the pick. I have a problem with the way they're using him and what they think of him. He's a first and second down guy. I told Clint Hurt this 2 nights ago. He can't play on third down. There's going to have to be a rotation for him to be successful. If you play him 3 downs, he'll be out of gas by week 10 again. It's just innate in him. He's not going to be able to give you a full year. The Buccaneers know how to use Vita Vea. Why don't the Eagles understand that? Because you know why? Their analytics guy versus Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles is a football man. The analytics people in Philadelphia have a lot to say with the draft and free agency. Steve goes, Jesus, what am I? Sills, this is only 3 years. Give the man the benefit. No. I saw a kid. Can somebody tell me what that kid's name is in Los Angeles that they drafted in the 3rd round from Wake Forest? What's his name? Kobe Walker? He's already 10 times better than Jordan Davis. He's already 10 times better than him. Is that his name, Kobe Walker? That kid that was at Wake Forest? He's already better. I don't need 3 years. I saw the kid play this year, and he was right there with Aaron Donald. Playing the run, getting off the block. Is it Walker? Kobe Walker, right? Watch him play the run. Watch him play the pass. Shit, you needed to watch was 3 games with that guy. Prince says Jordan Davis's problem is his weight. I think some of that, but I also happen to think it's how they use him. Dude, they got that kid in the 3rd round, and he's already better than Jordan Davis. Tell me, man, you know when you see it. Mozzie Smith will never be a good football player. You know why? He doesn't have any feet. You know why Jordan Davis has a chance to still be good? You know why? No. If Jordan Davis is going to be good, it's not going to be because of Vic Fangio. It's going to be because of Clint Hurt. Let's get that right. Okay? Let's get that right. It'll be because of Clint. Do you know why Jordan Davis has a chance to be good? He's got exceptional feet. He's got soft feet. He got great, quick feet. Yes, that's right, Kyle. You could do magical things with guys with great feet. When you don't have good feet like Mozzie Smith, you have no chance to play in the National Football League. If you're not quick on your toes, you have no shot at being good. Like Mozzie Smith plays defensive tackle and nose guard like he's an offensive guard. And offensive guards have great feet. I would even make the comment that offensive guards have some of the greatest feet next to even wide receivers. You know why? Because of all the traffic that's inside. Think about all the traffic you got. You got 300-pound men, all those guys in there. You got to pick your feet up all the time. You got to have exceptional feet when you're an offensive guard, especially the center position when you got all those bodies around you. Let's see here. So I'm gonna get to my mock draft too. Did you see him the first 4 games last year? Jordan Davis played. Steve, I didn't think Jordan Davis played well at all in the first 4 games. I thought he was exceptional, but they wore him out. That's why you don't play him on 3rd down. Play him on 1st and 2nd down. Okay? Play him on 2nd down, 1st and 2nd down, and then put Milton in there on 3rd down. That's what I see. Sills, would you trade for J.C. Horn? Let's see after the draft. Trading now doesn't make sense. Kyle, what you do is when you're looking for a trade, you wait till after June 1 because some guys may get whacked. Coaches did not play to his strength. Well, 2 years, man. 2 years. Something's got to change. All right, let's get into the mock draft too. And I've made one trade in this one. I'm still hanging with one of my guys, Chop Robinson from Penn State, but I have added a new name at 22 here. There's a part of me even thinking this. So before I get into this, if you're Howie and you're at 22 and Kool-Aid is still on the board, would you trade down to 27? Draft Kool-Aid at 27 and pick up a 2nd and 3rd rounder for you moving down like that, and you would pick up the 35th pick if you move down to 27. So it would almost be like a first-round pick because 32 teams, obviously. So it would almost, you'd be at the top of the second. So you trade down to 27 if Kool-Aid's there. Or if some of those edge guys are there, or like Xander says, an OT. There's about 14, get this, guys. There's about 14 offensive tackles that could go in the first 45 picks. That's how deep it is. Probably 45. I would say this. Impact players in this draft this year. Last year, there was 5. This year, five. Most of them are receivers. But it's going to depend where these receivers go. Sills, I think the players complained about the coaching staff, hence the team cleaning house and hiring new coaches and with more experience. Prince, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Prince, I don't even know if you had to really hear the players complaining about it. Just looking at the results at the end of the season. Okay? Okay? I mean, 22 depends on Reddick's status. That could be, Chris. I don't believe they're going to get rid of Reddick until the day of the draft. Howie may be trying to do that like he did on draft day, doing something on draft day with Reddick. Okay? Like, there's some good edge rushers, but to Reddick's ability, I don't know. Here I'm going to give you here's my, as a matter of fact, you know what? We're at the top of the hour here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait until the top of the hour. We'll do it at the top of the hour. Okay? Okay? Sills, I think Kool-Aid won't get drafted till at least Green Bay picks. That's down to 25. I think he could be down there near 30. I think Buffalo, because Buffalo needs some secondary help. I mean, because of the cap issues they had to cut 6 guys, and most of them were on defense. How can Kool-Aid be a red flag when he covered some of the greatest wide receivers in the country? And he was a All-American 2 years in a row. I'm not sure I agree with that. Either trade back and take Kool-Aid since he's most ready now, but lacks top gear. Okay? Take Wiggins at 22 and Cooper in the second. It's good thinking, James. Thank you again. Tell you what, James, I'm going to send you a love letter because I can't thank you how I appreciate you supporting the show the way you do. Thank you, sir. It's an honor. I like that, James, though. Trade back, corner. You're preparing for next year to lose one of your corners while putting some more depth back there. And then you draft Wiggins also. And then you get Cooper in the second. At the top there with 35 if you trade down. This DT from the Broncos any good? I think how long was he in Denver? Okay. How long was he in Denver? Because I'd like to know if he was there when Fangio was there. So that would have to be that he had to be up there, 4 years ago? So maybe Vic knows him, and that's why he's there. Some good corners in this draft? I think so. I think there's some decent corners in this draft. You know? I heard that. You heard what? I like your take, Sills, trading down and getting another pick in the second. Yeah, because you don't have a third. And I'd like to get another 2 and a 3. I'd like to get another 3rd and a 3. Okay? Because they don't have a 3. Stills, my concern with Wiggins is weight. Awful light, 178. Hey, Dan, what's your thoughts on Trey Benson? I'm gonna get to the personnel here in a minute. I promise you, okay, James? Package Bradbury and Gainwell. Dude, a Big Sarge, Bradbury and Gainwell, one, it's money with Bradbury and his salary and the cap hits, and Gainwell, this infamous love affair that only the Eagles have, that's not value to Arizona. Retain Reddick and draft a corner early. You're giving guys one who's an anchor around an organization. Sarge, Bradbury's contract makes him untradeable, and his cap hit makes him untradeable. You're not going to do anything with Bradbury until next year, or you're either going to eat the deal. And who wants to eat the deal? Bring him back. See what he can do. I'd bring him back because, hey, I'd bring him back because of the contract and because he seems to have a pattern of playing great every other year. Okay? Yeah, Kenny Gainwell is a nobody. You put Kenny Gainwell in Carolina, he's worse than Miles Sanders. Okay? Stills, I like the kid. Barswell. He's sliding in the draft for some reason. That's a good thing because if he's in the second, I like him too. He's an edge guy that could also play outside. Yeah, Wiggins was light. He was like just really light at the combines. Man, that's a little dude. Hey, so let me ask you this, James. You think a guy 184 pounds can cover A.J. Brown? I don't care how talented he is. You know what I'm saying? You think a guy 185 pounds could cover even Devontae Smith? I don't know. That's a little light. I don't think so. Feels like, Bradbury bounces back because of Gardner Johnson's return. Stevens, that's what I think the Eagles are thinking and why they brought him back as well. Yeah, Cameron Kitchens, Dion, I love the kid. You know, he's asked me a lot of questions. Mario had him call me, and I talked to him. You know, he tells me that he just wants to play anywhere. He'd really like to stay on the East Coast. He'd like to stay in the Southeast. It's always a dream. Hey, one of the things, the reason that I enjoyed and the reason I kind of picked and I made it so, I had a chance to go to Pittsburgh. They wanted to get this. When I was a supplemental guy, Pittsburgh, Green Bay, the 49ers, the Eagles, the Giants, the Patriots. I have a letter that the Patriots sent me that they were going to draft me in the first round. I didn't go work out for any of these teams because I wanted to stay in Florida. And it was the biggest mistake of my career. I should have went to Pittsburgh. Steelers wanted me. And Green Bay, they had Dick Mogilewski up there who was on the defensive line with Robustelli. And he was the D-line coach. I should have went to Green Bay and I got better coaching. It was a terrible mistake. Okay? Terrible mistake to do that. He's a natural one. Dude, 170's tiny. And especially in a game today, James, where you got these gigantic receivers, and now with these new rule changes that you can't get guys on the ground. I don't think you could be 170 pounds and just hold on for dear life with some of these big-time receivers. Weiner's drafting P. Diddy as per ESPN's Mo Lester. P. Diddy. He's going to be serving time in the Pokey, LJ, with R. Kelly pretty soon. Him and R. Kelly, man, are going to be doing a barbershop duet pretty soon. You know what it's going to be called? Don't Drop the Soap. How you doing? They're going to be singing a doo-wop. Okay? They're gonna be singing a barbershop doo-wop. Don't drop the soap. How you doing? Hey now. Sales, who's the corner Washington drafted in the first round last year? Who was that guy they drafted last year? Oh, forget his name. How you doing? All right, I got to take a timeout. We're going to come back and do the Big Sales mock draft number 2. Then we'll do the third one the week of the draft. I'm still high on Chop Robinson. I got another name, though, for my mock draft number 2. We'll do that next. Don't forget, Angelo Cataldi will join us at 4:30 Eastern. Jason Cole at 5:30 Eastern. Our resident Yahoo Sports NFL Insider. All coming up. Please hit the like button. And also don't forget our great friends at Underdog Fantasy. March Madness is here, folks. And do me a favor. We are loving it that people are signing up. Our loyal viewers and subscribers. Look, guys, $10. They match it all the way up to a C note, $100, $20, $20, $30, all the way. We appreciate it for March Madness. Remember, Underdog will match it all the way up to $100. The promo code is WIN, W-I-N. That is W-I-N. Before I take a timeout, I have to hit James. No, I was saying it was 170 at the combine for someone, I think. Then now back to 184, but must get to 200 to succeed in the NFL. Else he's a Dean draft and fail. Probably right, James. Can't be 184 in the National Football League. Cannot be 180. Cannot. Hour number 2 coming up. NFL draft mock number 2 for Big Sills. Keep it here, National Football Show.